Welcome to day 1 of our hip and hamstring challenge. We're going to start off on a bit of a flow with a hip and hamstring warm-up, which you can do before a workout or just as a bit of a cool down as well. We're going to begin in a downward facing dog. So your fingers are spread at the top of your mat. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees, lift your hips back and up towards the ceiling. We're trying to create a V shape here. So we're going to bend the knees a lot, taking the tension out of your hamstrings. And then push your hips back and up towards the ceiling, feeling that length along your spine. Just stay here for a moment, pulling the lower belly in, stretching into your shoulders, into your arms. And you're probably not feeling much into your hips and hamstrings yet. Now, to start to begin that stretch into your hamstrings, let's walk our dog out, pressing one heel down towards the mat at a time. And you'll feel the stretch into the backs of your legs. Perhaps you can't press your heels down, it doesn't really matter. You're still going to feel that same stretch. So a couple of rounds, pedaling your feet left, right. Okay, you can keep a little bend in both knees, but now try to press both heels down. Keep sending your hips up towards the ceiling. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg. Try to press that left heel down. Again, it might not touch down completely, but you're still going to feel that strong stretch now into your left hamstrings. Perhaps you can lift your right leg a little higher. Now begin to open your hips towards the right side of the room, stacking your hips. You feel a stretch into the right hip flexors here. Stay here. One full breath. Keep pointing your right toes up towards the ceiling. On the next exhale, bend your top knee now, squeezing your heel down towards your buttock. Try to point your top knee up towards the ceiling and feel that deeper stretch into your right hip flexors, but also into your right quad. Breathe. And then slowly inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, lightly step that right foot forward between your hands. Okay, let's drop that back knee down gently. Keep wriggling your right foot forward until your heel is underneath your knee. This is really important to protect that front knee. And press down into your front foot. Use the strength of your core and the strength of your legs to slowly come up. We're not sitting too far down with the hips, just keeping your hips over your back knee. Now try to tuck your tailbone under, push your pubic bone forward. You're going to feel a stretch into those left hip flexors. I'm just going to hold here, hands on hips. Inhale to feel your spine lengthening. And then when you exhale, perhaps you can push your hips a little further forward, like you're trying to tuck your tailbone under even more. You're going to feel that deeper stretch still into those left hip flexors. We're just staying here for 2 more breaths. Okay, and then slowly now let's start to bring those hands back down to the mat. Keep those fingers spread. Lift your back knee up. Push away from the mat with your hands so you can step your right foot all the way back to your downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing on the other side now. So on the next inhale, lift your left leg, press that right heel down, feel that stretch into your right hamstrings. And keep lifting your left leg, perhaps stacking your left hip over the right, hips opening towards the left side. Keep breathing here. Feel that stretch into the hips, into your hamstrings. Stay here for the next inhale, and then exhale, squeeze that heel towards your buttock. Point your top knee up towards the ceiling, feeling that deeper stretch into your hip flexors and into your left quads. Breathe. And then slowly inhale, let's straighten that left leg. Exhale to lightly step the left foot forward between your hands. Gently drop your back knee down. Come up to your half present lunge here, hands to hips. Hips stacking over your back knee. tuck the tailbone under, push your hips forward, and then exhale to slowly sit your hips a little further down, or just push those hips a little further forward. Breathe 2 breaths. Okay, and then slowly making your way back now to your downward facing dog. Hands down to the mat, lift your back knee, step your left foot all the way back. Okay, you can gently lower those knees all the way back down, and perhaps shaking out your wrists. So that's it for day 1. Check back in again tomorrow for more stretches for your hips and hamstrings. You can repeat the sequence as many times. You can always come back to this whenever you need that stretch. See you tomorrow.